President Donald Trump is calling April 2 Liberation Day, promising to impose reciprocal tariffs. But he's now indicated many countries could be given a break. Live to Trudy McIntosh in Washington, there's been some changes, it appears, Trudy. So will Australia be impacted here?
Well, that's the big question, Pete. We still don't know the answer to that. There was a clear shift in Donald Trump's language today about how widespread these reciprocal tariffs that he's promising to implement on April 2 will be. Unlike what we saw with steel and aluminium, where no country was granted an exemption at all, including Australia, despite our arguments with the trade surplus, on April 2, things could be a little different. The president was asked about this in the White House a few moments ago.
Well, I may give a lot of countries breaks, but it's reciprocal, but we might be even nicer than that. You know, we've been very nice to a lot of countries for a long time, but I call it Liberation Day. April 2nd is Liberation Day.
That after he announced a fresh tariff today, 25% on any country purchasing oil or gas from Venezuela. Australia not likely to be directly impacted by this. We're not a purchaser at all. If we do see a spike in the global oil price, that will have flow-on impacts. China is the big importer of Venezuelan oil at the moment. And these tariffs, the president said, will be on top of the tariffs that are already in place for these countries. The president is calling these secondary tariffs. They're due to kick in on April 2. Here he was.
You saw what happened today with Venezuela. We did something with Venezuela, which is long in the making, and it's very substantial. And we'll be announcing cars very shortly, and we already announced steel, as you know, and aluminum. We'll be announcing pharmaceuticals at some point in the not too distant, because we have to have pharmaceuticals. We don't make pharmaceuticals anymore in our country.
At the end, the president's riffing on what he calls sector-wide tariffs. Now, they are likely to impact Australia, particularly when it comes to pharmaceuticals. He said, Pete, though, that will be announced in coming days. And there are reports here in America that they won't come in on April 2. So still a bit of information to digest for our politicians back home as to what impact this will be.